you look at CTV and programmatic, it has had explosive growth over the last few years. And like any channel that has grown tremendously, as the growth starts to recede a little bit, you start to notice a few problems. And in CTV, there's just an incredible opportunity to do better, to make sure that marketers are more informed with what they're buying, specifically the position in any given pod, or some of the metadata from the feeds. Am I buying a certain network, a certain genre, a certain show? Sometimes that can be obfuscated, and that level of transparency, I would say, on the go forward is going to be imperative to ensuring we can continue to search growth in programmatic, specifically in the CTV channel.
What's the biggest problem, biggest challenge in scaling CTV right now?
Moving everybody to new industry standards. Fittingly, we're at the IAB ALM here. OpenRTB 2.6 is really designed to address some of the signaling nuances that I mentioned. The challenge today is that everybody's effectively entered the CTV market on different protocols. So some of them support certain signals, some of them don't. And we really need everybody to take the leap to get onto 2.6 so that we're all speaking a common language and we can really light up the channel.
So Index has been highly involved with the IAB Tech Lab on OpenRTB 2.6 and the Advanced TV roadmap. What do you think is holding back adoption there?
Right now, it's really just getting the resources to make the leap. For some platforms, it's going to require re-architecting some of their CTV capabilities. And so that could be a 3-month or 6-month investment. We saw the same thing in the early days of programmatic. Before we had OpenRTB, we had no protocol. Then we all developed the standard that we call OpenRTB. Everybody had to advance to the standard. It took a few years. We had 1.0 and we had 2.0. It took a few years. We're kind of at that same point here in CTV where platforms have some support, but not all support, and they have to make the investment. We're trying to create a bit of a groundswell right now so that a bunch of DSPs and exchanges and ad servers all make the leap at the same time. I'm confident we can do it within 2023.
How do you see content signal transparency evolving over time?
I think we're going to get to the point where it's it's like an incredible new yield optimization for pubs, and also a new level of transparency for buyers. So based on the opportunity today, a buyer might only know the bundle that they're buying, so a fast app. They won't necessarily know that a consumer is watching a given show or episode. As a result, they might underpay and underbid. I'll bid $10 because I trust the fast app, but I don't know what's being consumed. But if I knew the show, maybe I would bid $40. That, I think, is a huge opportunity to basically give marketers what they want, which is more transparency, but also develop more yield for publishers. And I think in a market where supply is continuing to swell, the SVOD platforms are starting to become available to advertising and bringing their supply in, we are going to need to get more sophisticated at yield optimization. I think that's exactly how we're going to do it.
Privacy is a big theme here at IAB this year. How is CTV doing on that front?
I think CTV is faring better than most, largely because, for the most part, any IDs that are used have a workflow within the television itself that the consumer is transparently aware of. There's usually an opt-in mechanism built right into it. And so for the most part, you also aren't necessarily doing anything super personal on your television. You're not doing banking, you're not buying things online. I think the level of data that's being leveraged today is in a fairly safe place, and the IDs are very transparently communicated to the end consumer. That said, as new regulations come to fold, we're probably going to see changes in the way connected IDs work. There might be more limitations on their usage or availability, but we really haven't seen that happen to date.